Hello, welcome to Board Game Bonkers. This is the Bonkers Show. I'm Jay Sears, and this is going to be the last one of the random board game generator. If you're not sure what this is going in Board Game Geek, and then clicking on that random board game generator link, that brings up a random board game. And we were going through this series, look and see if we get some find hidden gems. And obviously, we've increased the criteria for this to try and get games that have an average rate of 7.2 or higher. So this time I'm doing a little bit different because I've actually gone away and tried to find 10 board games, but I've only managed to find 9 this time. I have a minimum rating of 7.2 on average, at least 100 ratings, and look decent, but I haven't actually checked them out, so I have no idea apart from the title. I haven't looked at pictures, I haven't looked at what the game offers, I know nothing about its mechanisms. And what we're going to try and do, I was going through those 9 games that I found. It's taken me 3 hours to do so. So it gives you an idea of how long it takes you to find these games, or certainly at that level. I'm not saying games below 7.2 aren't good. I just want to set a high criteria, see how long it would take, 3 hours, and I've got them up, and I'll bring them up in just a second. We'll have a look at them. We'll try and guess what the mechanisms are. But there's a little twist here. I want you to let me know in the comments down below one of these games for me to go and buy. That's right, I'm going to purchase one of these games. I have no idea which one. I only actually know 2 of these games that I actually found by doing the random board game generator, and I encourage you to do the same. It's a good bit of fun. Sometimes you can find hidden gems. So let's bring it up on the screen now, and let's have a look and see what we got. So first one that we've got is Tinner's Trail. Now, I have no idea. I remember seeing this in a board game review, and I can't remember for the life of me what it is about. I can tell by the picture here, we're also placing cubes and buildings down. So let's have a look at some pictures first. And it's got a complexity weight, so 2.84 is quite a family weight, so that's good. Let's have a look. I'm guessing some resource management. I don't know what the cubes are for. So this is mining. Perhaps they're mines, or are they churches? There might be mines here. The orange kind of half circle. So we've got card play. I wonder if there's set clicks. We've got a boat as well. So it looks like we're taking resources from one area to another. Perhaps there's a market part where we're selling goods and purchasing goods. I'm not sure what the cards are for. Beautiful art. I like the artwork in this. It looks stunning. Whoa, that looks quite busy. So let's have a look at this. We've got a lot of cubes. So is there a bit of area control in this? Let's have a look and see what mechanisms the game uses. No, I don't need to free up space, thank you. So economic, so action points. Okay, so we've got dice rolling. I didn't see any dice in the market. I was right. Turn order, a time track, interesting. So set in the 19th century of Cornwall. I remember a long time ago seeing a review of this. I can't remember what it was about. So you obviously got your mining, extracting goods, or to make profit. But the deeper your mine goes, the more expensive the process gets. That's true. So very thematic then. And you can reduce the cost of mining. You can place the developments such as ports, train stations, and then drainage tunnels, but there's only so many improvements that go around. So this looks interesting. So in this edition of Tinner's Trail, it differs from the original version. Okay, 2008, maybe it's the original I'd seen. And the player count, for example, is now 1 to 5 instead of 3 to 4. That's good, because I like 2-player games. That's interesting. This looks quite fascinating, actually. I like the look of this. Right, this is different. I haven't got a game like this. Well, certainly not in this theme. Let's move on to the next one. We have got Run, Fight or Die Reloaded. Know nothing about this. It's got 7.2 rating. Weight is 1.89, so this is obviously very light. It plays in about 20 to 40 minutes. I'm guessing there's a lot of dice chucking, and there'll be a lot of theme fighting zombies, no doubt. Let's have a look, see what we got. Okay, so this definitely looks alright. So we've got these different zones, and then we're fighting against zombies, chucking dice and hoping that we kill them. It looks like we've got different abilities as well. Let's see if there's any other good pictures around. So it looks like we've got different cards up here, or boards. And I wonder if we are doing point-to-point moving between them to fight the different zombies. Okay, is there anything else that's going to give us a clue? No. So we've got different resource cards, as you can see. Let's have a look at these in a bit more detail. Heroic dogs and help defy song. Ah, great. Salesman. So it's going to give you different abilities, different companions that can help you. So, soccer mum, I love that. It's a bit of tongue-in-cheek, this. And yes, it looks like you've got to roll the certain icons, I suppose, to kill some zombies. So let's have a look at the description. So as you can see, it's a lot quicker Board Game Geek this time. Fantastic. So it's push your luck. Obviously, there's dice rolling, re-rolling. So that's good. So maybe some mitigating, varying player powers. It's quite basic and straightforward. It's a streamlined version. This removes several decks from the original game, including fleeing deck and event deck. Players roll 6 dice instead of 5. So it looks like, and you've got different combos. It looks like this is much streamlined towards families and children. And we'll implement. So let's have a look at Run, Fight or Die. The original doesn't look. It's not got a great rating, so it looks like this was perhaps over convoluted. Although I have to say I like the artwork in this one. Interesting. That looks fascinating. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Warhammer. Okay, right. Warhammer is interesting because I've actually had a look at a couple of games in the past with Warhammer. It's not really something for me. I don't like skirmish types of games. I wonder if these are any good though. So this is a 2-player only. It's got a weight of 3. So that's fairly complex. Let's have a look at some of the pictures. Is this a board? No, it looks like it's cards. Okay, so this is different. It's normally you've got a big board, haven't you? So this is different. So this looks like card combat. Okay, so it looks like you've got these different arenas or combat areas that you're going to be fighting over. This does not look too dissimilar to, apart from maybe some of the theme of it, Sorcerer. So, or Sorcerers, I think it's called. I like the artwork in this. This looks stunning. Let's have a closer look, see what the cards do. Well, that's just, okay, I can't zoom in anymore, so I can't see what the cards do. Okay, let's see if we can zoom in this. No, we can't. Wow, it looks like we're going to be fighting over these arenas, card play, deck building. That's what I'm thinking. This is completely different than what I was expecting in Warhammer. Let's have a look. So we've got area majority influence. We can like hand management, simulation. So it's hand management, not so much deck building. So at the start of your play, the Traxxas sectors lies open. So that's your kind of arenas you'll be fighting against, with planets awaiting your armies to get into war. So each round begins with you and opponent preparing for battles. You've got these planet cards arranged in a row between players at the beginning of the game, and the planet furthest to the left. To the starting player is the first planet. So each round, you and your opponent will clash at the first planet. So you're basically just playing cards to combat. So that's quite straightforward. Your warlords that you've got special abilities. Okay, give you starting resources. You can build your deck around your warlord. Okay, so it's very basic. This looks interesting. I like games like this. But this looks more complicated. So that's interesting. Maybe one worth keeping an eye on. Let's go to the next one. Again, we've got another Warhammer. Okay, Underworlds. Nightfall. I have no idea what this is. Weight of 2.47, so it's got a huge rating of 7.7 overall. So it's clearly popular. 2-player only game, that's fine. I like 2-player only games. I'm trying to find good and different 2-player games if I can. And this looks like it could be a bit of skirmish. I'm not a fan of. These miniatures look amazing. So, okay, so again, you can't zoom in too much in the picture. Let's have a look. We've got a deeper. There we go. Look at them. They look great. So I quite like the look of this. This definitely looks skirmish. If it's too skirmishy, I'm not going to be interested in it. So let's have a look. So I'm guessing there is card combat using cards. Yep, so card game, collectible components. Okay, so action points. Deck, bag building, pool building. Okay, so deck building, dice rolling. I didn't see any dice. So in this action-packed combat game for 2 players, you're going to build your war band, construct your deck, and defeat your rivals. Okay, so during the height of the city rivals, blah, blah, blah. So what do you do in the games? In Warhammer Underworlds, you and your opponent pick a warband, 2 are included in the box, and you build a deck of power and objective cards. So after placing your warband, the hex-tiled game boards, you take turns making actions. You've got movement and attack until 3 phases are played. So it's quite skirmishy. I'm not too sure how I will like this. I'm not a fan of skirmish games. It's got a high rating, 7.7, so it's clearly good. Okay, let's move into the next one. Dinosaur World. Right, I do know about this, and I also know about, I've got Dualosaurus. I haven't actually played it yet. I've just got it in yesterday. It's on my shelf, so I will be keen to play that and check that out. Now, I know this has got tiles. You're tile laying, okay, and creating this dinosaur park, a kind of theme park. You can try and get as many points as possible, and you're going to be attracting visitors, I believe. I like the look of this, and I'm not sure I want two different dinosaur games that essentially are the same. So I'm not quite sure. So let's have a look at the mechanisms. Dice rolling, okay, income, movement parts, tile. We knew there was tile placement, and there's worker placement. Okay. I never knew it was worker placement. So each round in Dinosaur World, you draft new resume card to acquire new workers. You spend workers to take public actions, building your park and acquiring DNA. Spend further workers to take private actions, improving that park. Okay, so you're developing this park, getting dinosaurs in. I wonder if there are dinosaurs. Let's have a look. Are there dinosaurs? There are. Okay, wooden pieces. They look nice. Like the look of them. They look good. Nice components. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of dinosaur games, but I think I want to try Julius before I fork out more money for the game. Essentially, is the same and more streamlined. Let's move in to our next one. We've got Forest Shuffle. This is a new game, so 2023, well, newish, and it's got a good overall rating, 7.5. That's really good, and weight of 2.12. So this is going to be light. It plays best with two players. So it's going to be one of those kind of back and forth card games. Let's have a look and see if we can get a sense of how it plays. So I wonder, are we creating a forest? I think we could well be. So it seems like, oh, we've got animals, we've got different trees. So we're creating trees and then animals that can live in those trees. That's what I'm guessing. So you're attaching the animals to the trees. A bit of tabloid building here that's going to maximize your points. I quite like the sound of this. See if there's any other. There we go. The artwork's lovely, isn't it? It looks absolutely beautiful. Really like that artwork. Okay, so this seems fairly straightforward, and you're getting a tabloid of animals. So you've got chaining, yep, layering, multi-use cards, so kind of tabloid building. So this starts. Each player has 6 cards in the hand. Cards depicting either a particular type of tree or 2 forest dwellings. So in your turn, you draw 2 cards, and then you'll be able to obviously add them to your hand. You can play a card from your hand by paying the cost and putting them into play. Straightforward, simple. This might be a nice little game. It's a different theme that I've got. Interesting. So maybe definitely worth checking out. Let's move to the next one. That is it Beijing? Dejin? No idea. So we're going to be preventing the Jings from stealing your source of magic powers. So it's got weight of 2.67, family weight, great, good overall 7.5 rating. Came out in 2023, fairly new. Let's have a look at some pictures. I have no idea what this game is about. That's interesting. Circular board area here. So a bit of worker placement. Maybe you're going round and maybe you can only move so many spaces. Got a player board down here, so it looks like you're going to be gathering resources, and you're going to unlock different parts of your board. And you've got these tiles down in the bottom middle you can see, so perhaps to give you one-time bonuses. Oh, I love these shaped tokens, look fantastic. So I wonder if there is worker placement, is there a bit of card management? So you're getting these cards or tiles that give you different resources and bonuses perhaps. Yeah, as you're placing your workers out, it's going to give you different resources. I'm not sure what the central board is used. Perhaps that's you're trying to prevent certain items being stolen. There's bag building, as we can see. So are they different enemies that are coming out to be placed into the central board? I wonder. Let's have a look. It looks like that. They look like ghosts. Okay, so let's see what this game involves. Let's go to the main description. And we've got grid movement. Okay, so point-to-point movement, similar thing. Modular board, open drafting. Okay, there's drafting and set collection. Interesting. So, what we're doing, so some magical beings, half corporal and half ethereal, have now tracked down their source, and there's been two base characters, which is called the Jing. Dejing, I'm butchering that, and have appeared in various places. That's always about bringing out in the bag, those little ghost-looking meeples. And you're members of the Magic Guild. So what you're doing is you're going to prove your abilities. You're tasked with capturing these little Dejings, which are ghosts essentially, so they can do no harm. You're going to control them permanently. Okay. So what else do? You take turns moving across a map that shows 13 locations. So these locations are linked to the actions where you can get the resources you need to catch the Jings. That are in 6 locations. Okay, so you're going to buy magic items, you're going to hire mages, accompany you, discover secret passages. That seems definitely family friendly. Interesting. Knew nothing about this game. This looks fascinating. Let's move on to the next one. We have got Rallyman GT. Now, I do remember seeing this in a review, but I can't for the life of me remember how it plays. Family weight 2.22, so that's really good. And as with all race games, plays best with a higher play count. And 60 minutes, so that's good. So let's have a look at some pictures. I love the cars, they look amazing. So I'm guessing this is quite light and this should be quite straightforward. I wonder if it's got slipstream in it. You see that in a lot of games. See if we can get any. Okay, so you're building the map yourself. That's interesting. Okay, so you've got these markers there. Is that perhaps the speed that you have to go at round corners? Perhaps I'm thinking. So what gear you have to go in? So you've got dice there. So as you're rolling the dice, you're trying to sort them to know in the order of what you go. I think you place them on the marks, the different points on the track where the spaces are, and that's the dice and the speed you're going at or the gear you're in. And then when you get to the markers that are on the edge of the tracks, then you've got to make sure you're on that gear before you reach the marker, or at the time you reach the marker. So that's what I'm guessing you do. As you can see, close look here at the markers. So you would place a 0 dice to make sure you don't crash. That's what I suspect is happening, if I can remember right from a few years ago, seeing a review on this. Yep, dice rolling, different dice movement, grid movement. Okay, so very basic. And it'll be reimagined as classic 2009 racing games. So this first it expands on Rallyman. Okay, so what does it add and what do you do? Is you take risk and squeeze every last second of the track by assuming rolling your dice. So the hexagon-based tracks will change and give you complete freedom how you build your tracks. And it doesn't tell you anything else. So it's a simple roll and move game. Yeah, it uses a bit of a different system. So you're choosing, obviously, the order of those dice. I'm not too keen on race games. I'm not a huge fan of them. Let's move into the next one, Skulls of Sedlick. So very lightweight, rating at 1.26. This is clearly a light card game. Best with 2 players. Good rating though, 7.4. I'm not sure I like the artwork in this. I know nothing about this game. I remember someone mentioned it on was it Under the Maple Light Show? Or it might have been the Christmas quiz on Under the Maple Light Show, I think. Don't like the art in this at all. It's not my kind of art. It looks very basic. So perhaps you're trying to acquire the different tokens that are going to give you, the cards that are going to give you points. Let's have a look. So it's a print and play, like a lot of games. And it's a wallet game, pattern building, set collection. So you get to dig up graves from the graveyard to reveal cards, take cards into your hand to collect skulls, and arrange the cards in your hand into a stack. Whoever better honours the deceased last wishes scores the most points. Okay, very basic, not my kind of game at all. So I hope you've enjoyed this. A little bit different. Got the games up, certainly got links to the games up already through the 3 hours I spent using the random board game generator, which is really handy because sometimes you find and discover games you may never have known about if you don't do that. So it's a little bit of fun. You can try that at home. But let me know in the comments down below, which one of these games shall we buy? So the first one we checked out was Tinner's Trail, which looked really interesting. We then had a look at Run, Fight or Die Reloaded. And we've got the original Run, Fight and Die. And then we had a couple of Warhammers. And Warhammer 40,000 Conquest, and I knew nothing about that game. Warhammer Underworld's Nightfall, which seems more skirmish. I'm not keen on that. And then we got Dinosaur World. I've got Juliosaur World, so I don't really need that, do I? And then we had Forest Shuffle, which looked quite interesting. I like the look of that, it looked gorgeous. The Jing, whatever it's called, we had that, which looked really interesting. And then we had Rallyman at GT. I'm not a fan of race games. And finally, we had Skills, I said, like, which looked quite basic and well, wasn't for me. Hope you enjoyed that. And if you haven't already done so, please do consider subscribing to the channel. This is the last of this particular series within the Bonkers show that is looking at the random board game generator. We won't be doing that again. I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope you give it a go at home as well. Thank you so much for watching this. Please do give our videos a thumbs up. It really does help. And thank you so much to all those who have subscribed. But don't forget, let me know in the comments down below, which one should I go out and buy? And I will go and buy that game. That's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, take care.
This is Bonkers.